Hey everyone, I normally don't do videos like this, but I felt called to. I kind of wanted to do this outside, but it's a little stormy and rainy and icky. So I decided to do it inside, facing the camera outside. Anyway, a couple of things inspired me to do this video. One was something that a friend of mine said, and two was a dream I had last night. And I hope you stick with me throughout this because it all comes together for me. The basic premise is it is time for us to stand up and make our voices heard. Something my friend said. She said that one thing about this plan that bothered her was that it has made people complacent. And I was triggered about that at first because, I was triggered. But I was triggered in such a way that I knew it was something for me to look at and not just dismiss in frustration. So I looked at it and I realized that she's right in a way. We're looking at what's happening right now, and we, at least here in the United States, we are being gaslit regularly by hearing that the prices and everything is down and the economy is doing great. And meanwhile, food prices keep going up, utilities, housing is out of control. People can't even put food on the table. People can't afford to move. In my state, the job market is terrible. And it's that way throughout the country from people that I'm hearing. So, number one, we're being gaslit. And too many people are being quiet about it. What if, remember when there's one of the Q posts that says, "Are you ready to stand?" What if part of this plan was to gaslight us enough times so that enough of us started standing up and saying, no, that is not how things are. No, we do not consent to how this is playing out. No, we do not consent to the cost of living, to the cost of housing, to the cost of food. We don't consent to any of that. We demand our freedom, our right to be free. Everything that has been withheld from us. Claim it back, take it back. That is an energy. And rather than just sitting back and saying, oh, well, I'm just going to trust that everything's going to play out. What if the idea behind the post, the Q post, "Are you ready to stand?" What if that is us united as a collective saying no? Because every time we do that, and I'm not saying go out and make a big social media production out of it. Just if you see something online, just say no. If you don't align with it, say no. Put out that frequency. It is like a little drop in the puddle of the frequency bandwidth here. And every time we do that, it changes it. It slowly shifts it and dismantles it so that we can have what we want. We can create in the way that we know we're supposed to be creating. So that was part of that message. Actually, an important part of the message. So stand up. Say something. You don't like it? Say something. Don't be quiet. Don't wait for somebody else to be the voice that is needed right now. Your voice is needed. We all matter. We are this plan. All of us. No one above another. Then I had this dream last night where I saw these mechanical-like snakes being removed. And as that happened, this clarity came over me. And I walked into this another room, and it looked like a library, and there was all these old books. And there was a bunch of kids in there. Well, kids for me is in late teens, early 20s. Those are kids to me. And Donald John Trump was in there. And he was talking to the kids, and he was telling them that the most important Q post was checkmate. And I walked over and I said, actually, Don, I called him Don, I believe the most important Q post was the one that said, I made a note on this. What was it? Don said to be blunt, game over. But I said, how about the most important one? And of course, I am spacing out and forgetting. I think that's what I said. To be blunt, game over. That's right, because he said checkmate was the most important one. And I said, how about to be blunt, game over? Because that talks about game theory and simulation theory. And I said, given that we are inside this giant simulation, if we all figuratively, literally, metaphorically stand and say no, we end the simulation. And then all of a sudden, all the kids came. They were standing around me, and I went to like a shelf of all these books, and then the kids followed me, and they were asking me all these questions, and then the dream ended. So, to recap, I believe, and it is possible, that we are being gaslit right now for a reason. Number one, well, it could also be two different sides. It could also be showing that, yes, that this new reality that they're saying is here right now is actually coming. However, I think it's prodding people to say, to stop looking at a savior, because that is what Trump has become in a way, like this massive cult, and he's the leader of this massive cult. And he's no different than us. He's just playing a role. He's just a person on stage. In fact, it's quite possible that at the very end, remember he said, I will gladly take the bows or I will take all of basically the attacks for you. I will take all the arrows and I will take all that. What if part of that, what if he also meant that at the very end of all of this, people can't stand him anymore? I mean, how many of you are tired of seeing him on stage? I am. I'm tired of hearing his voice. I'm tired of hearing his name. And it's not that I don't appreciate what he's done. It's just I'm done with it, you know? And what if, when he said that he will take those slings and arrows, what if at the end, the slings and arrows are coming from us? Because we have said, you're not going to gaslight us anymore. You're not going to tell us that the economy is doing great, that the price of my food has gone down, and that things are affordable and everything, the economy is amazing. What if that is to unite us and to challenge us and to push us, that voice within, so that all we do is stand up and say, no. That is how we end this game. Don't forget your role in it, okay? You are just as important as the people we're seeing on stage.